Hey homeschoolers, I'm Melissa Webb, former full-time classroom teacher and homeschool mom turned full-time business CEO and encourager to homeschool families everywhere. I am determined and dedicated to helping you in this journey that you're on. So if you are looking for a place to be encouraged and inspired, you have found the perfect podcast. Homeschooling is a work of heart is truly the perfect place to start. So welcome. Let's jump in. Well, hello friends. How are you? I am great. Our middle son and his wife, the newest newlyweds, are house hunting this summer. And they're getting so close to purchasing their first home. It's such an exciting time. And frustrating. They went to look at a home that looked great on paper, but they found out as they cruised into the driveway to do the walkthrough that it had been sold an hour earlier. Can you imagine? But hey, there's something even better waiting for them. I am confident of that, and I promise to keep you posted. Hey, I'm really excited to share a couple of things with you this week. First off, I am launching a 5-part video series for homeschooling parents. This is new. For years, I have said that home educators deserve professional development just like class teachers receive. I mean, back in the day when I was in the classroom, coming back to school, I loved some good PD. I mean, it just sparked new ideas. It lifted inspiration and positivity. And I think that parents who are homeschooling should have that same opportunity. So I have created what I'm calling 5 for 5. It's a video series for fall 2024. Now, I used to do monthly webinars, and it was actually attended, and then it just got put onto the back burner as things do. But this I'm bringing back with 5 lined up August, September, October, November, December, where I will host one virtual class a month. We're going to start August 30th. If you're like, what? I want to jump on. Yeah, you should. We're going to do one August 30th. It's always going to be like the last Friday of the month or close to the last Friday of the month. It gets tricky in November and December. You can check it out for the exact dates. It's always on a Friday because I love Fridays. It's like the start of the weekend. And we'll do one a month. In August, August 30th, our topic is titled The 3 Biggest Mistakes Made When Teaching ELA, English Language Arts. There are 3 really big mistakes I see homeschooling parents make. I want to tell you what they are and hopefully redirect you, give you some new ideas or different ways of thinking of things so that you plan out a really fabulous semester of language arts ideas from reading, writing, grammar, speaking and listening, all the things. ELA is a big component of curriculum. So we'll get into that at the end of this month. And again, you can go check this out. You can see what all 5 titles are and make sure that it's something you would like to do. I don't know why you wouldn't. If you got one idea out of this month or out of this whole semester, one idea, it would be worth the price because it is so affordable. It's called 5 for 5 because it's $5 for all 5 classes. Not $5 per class. No, you sign up for one, you pay your $5, you're going to get all 5. You're going to get reminders like, hey, it's the end of the month, we're going to jump on again, here's the topic. It's going to be amazing. So it's called 5 for 5 because it's $5 for all 5. And if you are a homeschooling parent or guardian, this, I'm telling you, is for you. So you can sign up now. Registration is officially open. I opened it this week. It will be linked in our show notes, but you also can just type in writeonweb.com/545. Not the numbers. It's spelled out FIVEFOR FIVE, 545. Now, my second big share this week is something I've never done before, but I'm going to share an interview that had nothing to do with me. Actually, it did, but it didn't. So, in the beautiful state of New York, there's an incredible mom who I feel very fortunate to have met. Her name's Cheryl. And she decided to leave the corporate world, and she has decided to homeschool her children. She's also authored a fantastic children's book, by the way. You will learn more about that next month. But when she decided she was considering homeschooling, she wasn't like both feet in. She was like touching her toe. She wasn't exactly sure what that would look like or what expectations would be all around the idea of homeschooling. So this was really smart. She decided to start a podcast, and she would interview people who were homeschooling. And her plan was to ask them all the questions she had and then share it with the world so that others could feel empowered as well. And she has so many fantastic episodes. You want to check her out. I will link to her as well. Now, she has a regular free podcast series, or one set of episodes after another, but she does a special series. Her special series is called the Curriculum Series, and I don't know, maybe in May she had posted on Instagram that she was looking for some people to share their favorite curriculums because she wanted to do these podcasts and teach people about the different curriculums. And our very own Tiffany LaPlante, who has been a fabulous homeschool mom that's been part of the Right On Web community. Well, my goodness, let's see. I think her older daughter started in 3rd grade and is going into 7th grade. So she's sticking around. I love it. They're trying to talk me into doing high school. It's pretty funny. Anyway, Tiffany reached out and volunteered to talk to Cheryl about this little curriculum called Right On Web. And last month, she was interviewed by Cheryl. So exciting. Now, I will tell you, this curriculum series that Cheryl does is a subscriber-only set of interviews, meaning you need to pay to play. And she charges $3 for the month, for the whole month. So you could subscribe for 1 month and then unsubscribe, but you could subscribe for 1 month for $3 and listen to all of the different curriculum series that she has. I looked at the list. She has a ton of things in there. And I do get it. Like, it's a very smart idea to charge a few bucks because it will offset the cost of hosting a podcast. It is true. These podcast platforms are not free. They cost us time and money to do them. And so it's a way for us to support her and the great work she's doing. It takes a lot of work to interview people. And I hope you do it. I hope you go check out other things. But here's the thing. I want to let you know, I've listened to a lot of interviews, and not everybody is great at interviewing. Agreed? Her interviews are great. I think she asks the things you would want her to ask. So if you're interested in checking out her regular free episodes, for sure you should do that. Or if you want to even sign up for a month of the curriculum series, I'm going to link that in the show notes, but you can also look it up. Her podcast is called the Homeschool How-To Podcast. Pretty easy to remember, the Homeschool How-To Podcast. So go check out Cheryl. She's amazing. But here's my treat for you. And thank you, Cheryl. She is allowing me to go ahead and post a free listen of the interview that she held between Tiffany and herself as they discuss our writing curriculum. So this was really fun for me. I hope you enjoy it too. I will tell you, as I listened to it, I caught myself smiling. Multiple times, I just had this huge grin on my face because I could just feel the love from Tiffany, and I just appreciated all of her kind words, and I loved hearing how what I have spent hours and days and weeks and months and years putting together is making things possible for homeschooling families in the ways of reaching new goals. And writing, for example, at levels, as you'll hear Tiffany will say, was not her wheelhouse. And so it's great. It's super great. So without further ado, please enjoy the Homeschool How to podcast with Cheryl and Tiffany. Right on.
Welcome to the Homeschool How to Find My Curriculum, a series where we talk all about curriculum. I've been interviewing homeschooling families for over a year now on my main podcast, The Homeschool How To, but I really wanted to zero in on curriculum. There's so much out there. How do I know what would work best for me and my child? How do I know what works for one child would work for the other? I might like the curriculum I'm using now, but how do I know there's not a better one out there? Especially if I don't know all the curriculums. And what about supplemental curriculum? Should I be using that too? This series is to help you decide just that. I'm going to interview parents who are using all the curriculums so that you can decide the absolute best way to unfold your homeschooling journey. Welcome, and with us today I have Tiffany. And Tiffany, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Good. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here on the Curriculum Podcast. I kind of set out on this journey looking into curriculum because there are so many out there. And then we kind of just really think of like the reading, the math, and the science and history. And we kind of forget about like the intricacies too, to like, I talked to someone about art last week and like writing. I kind of forget that writing is its own thing. We kind of think of it as like English or reading, but it's its own thing. So you're going to talk to us today about Write on Web curriculum. Is that correct?
Yes.
So how did you even discover this curriculum?
Well, I don't consider myself a good writer, and I've been homeschooling for so long, and my girls are getting to the point to where they're really advancing with their writing skills, and I didn't feel like I was giving them what they needed. Mm-hmm. So I was introduced to Write on Web through our charter school. She was offering pre-recorded videos to help prepare students for their upcoming CAST testing. And I took advantage of that. And that's how I heard of her.
Okay, so the actual creator of the curriculum was the one giving the class at your charter school?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. And then okay, so two questions. So a charter school, is that you can still homeschool and attend a charter school in some states?
Well, actually, it's a homeschool charter school. Okay. So we get state funding through a charter school. We do homeschool at home, but we have like a charter school facilitator that we meet with once a month who, kind of guides us along and helps to see their new learning. They are state tested, but we do our schooling from home.
Okay. All right. And then you said something about a CAST test?
Yeah, that's a state test that the state requires the students to take once a year, starting in third grade, I think it is. And this is all part of the state being able to see that, that we're progressing each year and where they were last year to this year. Since we're given funds through the state to use for people like Write on Web or different vendors, they like us to take the state testing.
I see. So what state are you in?
We're in California.
Okay. So, all right, that makes sense then. So are public schooled kids or private schooled kids also taking this CAST test?
They do.
Okay.
Maybe not private school, but public does. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we don't have that in New York. It's called something different. If that's, or all right, maybe I should say 20 or 30 years ago, we weren't taking that in New York. I haven't had kids in school since, but that phrase is new to me. So, okay, that's interesting. So what grades is Write on Web for?
It covers 3rd to 8th grade.
Okay, so fairly young. I was thinking it
Yeah.
was like a high school thing.
No. Unfortunately, my daughter just left 6th grade, and she's already trying to figure out a way that this can continue through high school because she loves it so much.
Wow. Okay. So why don't you walk us through what the curriculum looks like? Because I think when we just think of like writing, you think of like, okay, write about what you did last week, write about your favorite vacation, write a story.
Right,
So
right,
what can you walk us through
right.
what this curriculum actually looks like on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, and that's why I struggled teaching writing because there wasn't as much structure to it, and there's no like definitive right and wrong answers like there is with math
Yeah.
or grant, stuff like that. So, yeah, so she created a program um, that gives it more structure while still allowing so much creativity. The day to day looks like this. They have their Google portfolio that they've created on their own at the beginning of the semester. From there, she gives them an essay packet that is for the month. So they do one essay per month, whether it's persuasive, expository, or a narrative. So, whichever one they're working on that month, they would go into their portfolio, open up their packet, and from there, they have a monthly calendar with links on a daily basis. And those links go to pre-recorded videos that she has created to guide them through the steps of writing a well-constructed essay. She gives them note-taking instructions. She gives them step-by-step rough draft instructions, research instructions. And then at the end of the month, they turn it in and they get suggestions for editing or just positive feedback. And then they get to present it in front of the class, in front of their peers and the teacher.
Now, when they're presenting, are they presenting at the charter school or are they presenting at home virtually?
It's online.
Okay.
Yeah, it's online virtually. So on a weekly basis, they meet with one of the teachers from Right On Web to show their progress or ask questions. And then at the end of the month, they hop online and share their essay.
Okay, and that's what I was going to ask you next. Is the teacher the actual creator of the curriculum, or she has kind of an umbrella of teachers under her?
Yeah, she is one of the teachers that meets with the students weekly, but there are other fabulous teachers on there on a weekly basis. It just depends on their scheduling, and you can hop on based on what essay you're writing or what my girls love all the teachers, but you could pick, ones that you prefer over the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said in the beginning you start with a portfolio, and I'm thinking like a 3rd and 4th grader, what sort of portfolio would they have? What does the portfolio entail?
Yeah, so they call it that, I think, on Google. I had to help my younger daughter kind of put it together,
Sure.
but they put pictures of themselves. It's a private thing. Only the teacher sees it or whoever you actually allow into that Google document. But they put pictures of themselves up there, some of their interests, like we have chickens and a dog. So my daughters put up their, pictures of their chickens and the dog and how they like to go swimming or whatever. And then, things about themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really sweet. So this is kind of like a countrywide thing that anybody around the country or world even could be part of this class?
I mean, I guess they really could because, they're pre-recorded videos that guide you through the process. And then the live classes are all online too. So yeah, they really could.
Okay, so every week they meet once a week with a live teacher or a pre-recorded video?
A live teacher once a week. Yeah.
Okay.
But the pre-recorded videos are their process. So it's like homework, I guess, throughout the week that they work on. Okay. And then the live. Yeah.
So interesting. I mean, just when you think of like this, I'm sure was created in the last few years just because with COVID and everybody kind of working from home and doing this video thing, it's like, wow, the possibilities are really endless of what you can provide. And it doesn't have to be done in like in cement walls, for 8 hours a day. This sounds like something really cool.
Right.
And like, even as a third and fourth grader, something that they really take ownership over. Like, it sounds cool that you get to make your own portfolio and create it yourself, and then have these assignments and get to time manage. So when you watch the videos and when you work on your writing, what sort of like essays are there each month? And obviously, as they get into the older grades, they probably get more intricate.
Yes. So when you start out as a third or fourth grader in the program, you might be writing only, one paragraph essays, but they're complete sentences. They're very well structured with good grammar, good spelling, and you've done your research on the topics. And then as you get older, like I said, my oldest daughter is going into seventh grade, but she's been writing at a very high level ever since she started the program. So she's writing like 5-paragraph essays on topics that are a little bit more in detail. And the topics, there's new topics every semester, but they do cover a narrative, a persuasive, and expository, and then also a small poetry unit every semester. And so then the creator, Melissa Webb, comes up with different topics to give them to research, so that they can practice those styles of writing.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I love this. How much time does it take up every day, would you say?
Well, if it was up to my girls, they'd be doing this and this alone every day because they love it. They prefer it over math or history. But I think it depends. It's really nice to be able to choose how long you do it. Some of the days are just, you could do it in 30 minutes. You can, or you could do it longer and get ahead and do an hour even. It's up to you. She gives a schedule on a daily calendar, but we get ahead sometimes because some days are busier than others. We don't do as much on other days. It's really kind of open for whatever works for. Yeah.
That's cool. And then I guess we don't really think about writing as having that research component. So that's cool. And we're also in an era now where research has sort of been hijacked by the AI world and the internet. Does she touch on that, and how does she navigate that as she's trying to, have these youngsters? Like back when I was growing up, you had to go to the library and look in the, Dewey Decimal System for, the books on it and encyclopedias. And it's like, it's way different now. You could talk into your phone and tell it what you need, and Chat GPT could write your entire essay. So where does that fall in with her curriculum?
Yeah, she does touch on that. She's very knowledgeable with technology. She actually brings it to their attention that these things are out there, and then she shares with them that they can be good resources for them, but also not something to do it for them. So she said, if you do use something like Chat GPT, we need to cite our source as if it was something not coming from our own, writing. Also, she gives specific websites and links that are appropriate for that age and grade level. Yeah, so she kind of guides them through maybe where to do some research and helps a lot with that.
Okay. Oh, awesome. That sounds so fun. And you have 2 kids going through this program right now?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fun. And have you been doing it since the 3rd grade and through the 8th?
We have. Yeah, both of them.
So you've kind of seen it at all levels.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you wanted to make sure that you touched upon with Write on Web?
No, I think it's great that you're doing podcasts like this, because it's nice to see there's so many things out there to help us. And I was just so thankful to find this program, because it, like I said before, I'm not the best writer, and it helps to have resources out there like this that people who are really good at it are helping others to teach their kids.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
I agree too.
yeah.
Like writing is something I've always liked to do, but I don't know that I'm any good at it. You don't know how much further to guide your child. And I think that's when people throw their
Right.
hands up and say, well, I'll just put them in school, let the state
Right.
do it. But no, there's so
Right.
many resources, especially today. And yeah, this has been really fun learning about all these different programs that I never would have known about. I mean, maybe on a Facebook group or something, but it's really cool to like hear the detail and what the day to day looks like.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tiffany, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you have a lovely
Okay.
evening.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Please consider sharing this podcast or my main podcast, The Homeschool How-To, with friends, family on Instagram or in your favorite homeschool group Facebook page. The more this podcast is shared, the longer we can keep it going and the more hope we have for the future. Thank you for your love of the next generation.
Well, thanks so much for tuning in and listening this week. Hey, if this was something that you found valuable, don't forget you want to subscribe or follow so that every time a new episode is dropped, you'll be the first to know. And hey, before you go, if you are looking to get some of this academic writing under your belt and outsourced so that it's one less thing, freeing you up to enjoy more time with your family, hey, you're going to want to head over to writeonweb.com to see what kinds of resources and materials I have available for you. I will look forward to seeing you there, and I will look forward to seeing you here in our next episode. Right on.